I thought I'd record this latest video blog at the end of the first quarter of 2011 and give a snapshot of what I think's happened so far this year and what I think might happen for the rest. I think the main thing that we had in the first quarter was the budget, which I wasn't holding my breath for anything particularly exciting, and I wasn't disappointed. The Chancellor did go some way to adjusting stamp duty for bulk purchases, which I think will help the buy-to-let market, which is already quite busy. There's lots going on, and lots of multiple landlords coming back into the market, looking for properties to buy and build their rental portfolio once again. If they can borrow money, and they can if they have a deposit, it's a great time to buy. The sales market is still characterised by a lack of supply, and indeed supply is still 40% below its long-term 15-year average, which is painful. But it is starting to loosen up, and we've seen certainly in the first quarter of 2011 more properties coming onto the market, and hence people really are starting to look at trading up or even trading down again. If you do have 30-40% deposit, it's a great time to borrow money, and I'm fully aware that not everyone does, but people in London do. There's many more buyers out there than there are properties, and it's interesting to note that in places like Barnes we have 28 buyers for every property. Now this is less in places like Balham, where we have 10, and in all our Kensington Chelsea offices we have between 12 and 15, and with an average of about 13 buyers for every property we have on the market, it's not really surprising, I think, that prices have edged up so far this year. Family houses have done the best. They did last year, they will this year, they probably will again next year. And my view is that in parts of Fulham, Battersea, Clapham and certainly Barnes, prices have edged up by probably 5% in the family house market so far this year. This is similar for central London. It's not just houses, it's high quality flats, maisonettes and houses that again I think have edged up by around about 5%, caused by lack of supply and plenty of demand. So it really shouldn't surprise us. We have enormous numbers of foreign buyers, Europeans, Middle Eastern people, people from Asia, China, India, coming into the market wanting to buy. London remains a very safe haven. There's been plenty of talk about bonus money, and definitely it's made an impact in the London market. It does every year. It's been much more subtle this year. People aren't as ostentatious in there wanting to spend money. The letting market continues to be very strong, with businesses in London are without doubt employing again, and we've seen a very strong level of corporate applicants come into London so far this year, with very substantial budgets in central London. Letting stock once again has been at a premium. I really can't understand where all the stock's gone. People aren't selling and they don't seem to be letting. What I do think is happening is that the renewals market is very strong, and people who are renting already are looking around to see what's available and then, quite frankly, sticking where they are. So what does the future hold? Well, March this year was our second best month ever in our sales department. The lettings market too is increasingly busy. It's coming into its busy time. Between now and really October, the market really kicks on. Prices are rising in the lettings market, and they've risen again, I would think, in the last year by a good 10%. My overall predictions for the housing market this year, in January I said around about 5% increase. Well, in some areas we've seen this already. I don't think we'll see much more. I think the end of year figure will be around about 7% for an increase in London property. We have a bittersweet moment coming up. We're obviously delighted and excited about the royal wedding, but for businesses, that coupled with Easter, it's a very barren 2-week period which will be tough. The spring market is now upon us, and as it does every year, I see more buyers coming into the market and some real excitement. London is looking fabulous at the moment, and anybody coming into London to invest in property will be seeing it as its very best. The economy is seemingly growing and improving. The government seems to have got the handle on the shocking budget deficit, which is frightening businesses across the world, and London remains a great place to invest and to live for businesses and individuals alike. All in all, it's an exciting time in the capital.